Welcome to the Marvel Rivals Hardcore Ranked Challenge. The rules are pretty simple. I have to climb all the way to Grandmaster, but there's a catch. If I lose a match with a hero, they are gone forever. Can I reach the top without running out of heroes? Stick around to find out. Real quick, if you'd like to help me grow, make sure to leave a sub. Last episode was a roller coaster of emotions, filled with heartbreaking losses and bone-shaking comebacks. Still, it had only left us halfway through Platinum, which means it's up to us to get over this last half of the rank in this episode. But as this challenge progresses, our roster is starting to look thinner and thinner, a shadow of its former self, having lost key heroes like Wolverine, Hulk or Magneto along the way. One thing was clear, if I wanted to turn things around, I'd need a tank who could take charge of things and lead the team to victory. With 4 tanks left in the game, I decided going for Captain America. Could the hero of the motherland get us out of the ditch we were in into a more favorable position? Cap has been rising in popularity lately, becoming a terrifying dive tank, a nightmare for healers. If anyone could get us out of this hole, it was him, and I'd make sure to contribute to his reputation, constantly hunting down their supports to break the backbone of the enemy team to aid our team's chance at winning. And so it seemed that our second half through Platinum was off to a good start. But it appeared as though this quick breath of victory had faded with our next match, in which my inexperience on America's hero had gotten the better of me. 1 win and 1 loss wasn't something to brag about, but despite being a small one had still granted us a net positive of ranking points. A net positive that would start dwindling, however, as Moon Knight and Venom fell. 2 characters of which I had definitely expected more, and if we continued losing heroes at this rate, we'd be back in Platinum 3 in no time, and our rampant losing streak showed no signs of slowing down. Given Psylocke was such a difficult character, I didn't have huge expectations for her to begin with. But Star-Lord, a character which had brought us so much value in last season, fell like it was just another low-tier hero. At this point, I was watching my roster disintegrate before my eyes. Match after match, hero after hero. It wasn't just losses stacking up. It was the slow, crushing realization that I might have already hit my limit. The battlefield was littered in the wreckage of my fallen heroes. The dream of reaching Diamond, hanging on by a thread. I stood amongst the ruins of defeat and devastation. But in the ashes of my failure, one man stood tall. A suit of steel, a heart of fire. Iron Man. And from the moment he took off, the battlefield belonged to him. Where others fell, he soared. Where my roster crumbled, he conquered. The sky burned red with repulsor blast. Tanks melted under relentless barrages. Supports disintegrated before they could even beg for mercy. He wasn't just fighting, he was erasing everything in his path. With every unibeam that carved through the enemy frontlines, only fortified by the team-up with Hulk and Strange, every perfectly timed rocket that sent them scrambling for cover, it became clear. This wasn't just a comeback, this was vengeance. They tried to run, they tried to hide, but against this Iron Man, there was no escape. Jarvis, jerk it a little. In our next match though, things got way tougher. The enemy wasn't just strong, they were built to tear down Iron Man out of the sky. A Hela lurking in the back was already bad news. But the real problem? An extremely precise Black Widow that continuously delivered lethal snipes. Shot after shot, she turned my Iron Man into nothing more than a clay pigeon in a shooting gallery. Every time I tried to take flight, she'd shut me down before I could even breathe. A sniper with a personal vendetta. Even still, we managed to get a grip of the point, fighting like hell to hold on. But as the round dragged on, it was clear, it just wasn't enough. And just like that, the guardian angel we had found in Iron Man was stripped of its wings. Now the desperation of the situation started to hit me. If you count out the 2 victories Iron Man had clinched for us, we were on a losing streak of 6 heroes, with absolutely nothing to show for it. And now we had even let our knight in shining armor slip right through our fingers. With my spirit broken, my gameplay followed. We found ourselves in one hopeless match after another. Our rank crumbled, and heroes were dropping like flies. As me and my team found ourselves with our backs against the wall once again, I'm thinking to myself, I'm hurt, and I'm tired, and I want to go home, and I want to sleep, and I don't want to be here. And I think Can I let this one go? Can I let it be someone else's problem? Just for a minute, so I can rest? No, I can't. But I wish I could. God, I wish I could. For the first time in countless matches, we were back in control, and we would do anything to keep it that way, fighting tooth and nail, refusing to give an inch. Every one fight felt like a God-given chance, a rare moment where we weren't just surviving, but actually winning, and we weren't about to let it slip. Inch by inch, second by second, we clawed our way towards 100% capture progress. Then, in a cruel twist, Thor ulted. He didn't get a single kill. Kinda reminds me of someone, but he didn't need to. His sheer presence was enough to crack open our defenses, a force of devastation that carved a path straight to our front door, and just like that, they swarmed in and snatched victory from our grasp. With that, our hope for a comeback was snuffed out. The next match wasn't even a battle, it was an execution. From front to back, the enemy had us on lockdown, and no amount of struggle could have changed that. One clutch moment wasn't enough to turn the tide. We were fighting a battle we were never meant to win. And as our heroes slowly but surely started diminishing and reaching the end, there was one left that stood out among the sparse crowd. One hero that had overcome adversity time and again. Magik. The most iconic warrior of this entire challenge, the one who had done more for us than any other, and was certainly not going down without a fight. The match began with us on the defense. No Doctor Strange portal to initiate their push meant they had no choice but to face us head on. That was a mistake. I positioned myself on the flank, watching, waiting, picking at their health bars like a vulture circling a dying animal. And then, the perfect moment. I struck, erasing Punisher and Luna Snow in an instant. But fate is cruel. I turned back to regroup, only to find my entire team wiped off the map. I was alone, outnumbered, no choice but to run back and let the point fall. But maybe, just maybe, if my tanks could reach me in time, we'd get one last shot to re-engage before we lost control completely. Then I threw it all away. I charged straight into a Punisher turret. The enemy seized the opportunity, grabbed hold of the payload, and pushed forward with a massive time cushion. At this rate, they weren't just winning, they were steamrolling us into the dirt. And as they carved through the battlefield with no signs of slowing, I felt something gnawing at the edges of my mind. Intrusive thoughts creeping in, telling me that I wasn't good enough. I just wasn't meant for it. Accept defeat. Let it go. Give up. I shook it off. No, not yet. With the enemy inches away from the checkpoint, we threw everything we had at the team. Two ults burned, their Penny and Luna down. This was it, our last chance. I went all in, popping ult to seal the deal. And got violently erased by a fucking squid. Embarrassing. But I didn't even need my ult to put an end to their team. Soon after, I led our charge, taking out Penny and the Punisher swiftly to put our team into the advantage for the first time in the match, giving us crucial breathing room. The payload stopped dead in its tracks. We had somehow halted their push just shy of the checkpoint. A moment ago, we were seconds away from defeat. Now, we had room to breathe. But breathing was a luxury we couldn't afford. We had to keep the momentum, hold the line, stop them here and now. Then I died to a Punisher ult. Again. Didn't matter. The war of attrition seemed to have finally turned in our favor. Second by second, the clock bled out, and soon overtime was on its last breath. Then I made the mistake that ended everything. Wolverine grabbed me. I panic dashed away, straight into a Penny Parker nest. With our team scattered and soon decimated, the enemy was back in control. But on the other hand, overtime was literally milliseconds from running out. If we could re-engage and take control of the convoy for even just a second, we'd set an end to the round right then and there. But Penny's nest caused me to hesitate, giving them the split second they needed to pass on through into the checkpoint. Everything unraveled. They had momentum, they had control, they had everything they needed to finish the match in no time. We were barely holding on, shoved into a desperate, chaotic brawl. But there was one silver lining. We had burned away all their extra time. If we could stop them one last time, they'd have nothing left. The battle raged, ults flew, bodies hit the ground. Seconds stretched into eternity. And finally, it was over. We held the line. The payload never reached the finish. Now it was our turn. All we had to do was push the payload farther than they had. That's it, just one last sprint to victory. But the enemy knew Magik was their win condition. And they had one goal, to shut me down. Luna Snow and Namor's team up haunted me into my nightmares, making engaging near impossible. Every time I moved, Iron Man's laser ripped through my health bar, boosted by Hulk's team synergy. I had no counterplay, no escape. And then, to top it all off, our DPS disconnected. I had one last ult, one last chance to flip this match on its head. If I was going down, I was going to do it swinging. So I made my move. The same way the match began, it would end. I flanked. Now, I don't know what I was interrupting here, but it didn't matter. I unleashed everything, my final attempt to break the game open. And I failed. My ult did nothing. Game over. Magik, our last hope, our final frontier, was gone. And now, while loser Q is probably mostly BS, just take a quick look at the stats and tell me my team wasn't really meant to lose. Now, to close it off, I want to take some time to say thank you and kind of reflect on this, epic journey. You know, we've really been through a lot. First of all, this challenge was by far the most fun and successful thing on my channel yet, and you all seem to really enjoy it, leaving so many nice comments to keep me motivated and help me understand and really learn the game. Thank you guys so much from my heart for all the nice feedback and advice. And I hope, although we didn't manage to successfully complete the challenge, you're not mad or disappointed or anything and enjoyed the journey just as much as I did. For me, this was about making it as far as possible and trying to learn and grow and improve along the way, while making some great content for you guys to enjoy. And I really feel like throughout the season I've improved my gameplay and knowledge as well as my video quality massively. And that's in big part thanks to you guys. And I feel like in the future, actually completing this challenge successfully is definitely a realistic goal to aim for. For anyone who's watched this challenge and rooted for me from the very start, thanks a million times. If you got any advice from me, feel free to leave it in the comments. And if you'd like to see me try this in next season, let me know. Also, if you've got any ideas for future challenges or videos you'd like to see me try, I always love to hear those. And I'll hope to see you in the next one. See you.